This Week in Campbell Basketball. I'm your host, Chris Haymeyer, with your weekly look at the men's and women's Campbell basketball teams. What a weekend it was for the men's team. The Camels won their final two games of the Holy City Classic with an overtime win on Saturday over Colgate and a 97-91 victory over the hosts, the Citadel, on Sunday. In the Sunday win, Shane Whitfield put up a career-high 29 points and 10 rebounds. Chris Clemens was named the Big South Conference Player of the Week for the second straight time after averaging 26 points in the four contests last week. Clemens is now fourth in the entire nation in points per game, averaging 24 points per contest. The Campbell sophomore is also third in the country in three-pointers made per game and sixth in total field goals made. The men's team has won 4 of their last 5 games, improving their record to 5-4 on the season. We caught up with head coach Kevin McGeehan to talk about his team's recent success. Coach, what have you seen from your team in this winning stretch?
Well, Chris, I think what we're starting to see is that there's a little bit of resolve there. Playing 3 games in 3 days like we did, 2 straight overtime affairs. You have to be tough to get through those and come out with positive results. I think we all know that we could have easily won 3, and we've seen enough basketball to know that they could have gone the other way too. But I thought it showed a lot about our team, the way we fought back, and physically, that's a hard stretch to play 2 overtime games and then go play the fastest team in the country on kind of like a mental prep kind of situation. So I think we're starting to see that there's a little bit of grit there, a little bit of determination that I knew was in there, but it's nice when you start seeing it in the games.
You've gotten contributions from so many people, especially over that weekend, 3 games in 3 days, 2 of them in overtime. But your junior, Shane Whitfield, just incredible. He ended up averaging this season 12 points, 5 rebounds, and he's shooting nearly 50% from the field.
Yeah, he's playing really well. He makes so many plays for us. As a taller player and an interior player for us, he's so versatile because he's such a good dribbler. He's an excellent passer. He's quick for his size, and sometimes I need him to slow down a little bit, and he started to do that in the last game. I thought he really started to make some plays that he's really capable of and complete those plays. He was driving to score rather than driving to think about getting fouled. I think that's really big for him, and he just played a really aggressive, very well played game, and obviously it helped us a ton to win the game.
Coach, a finals week that you're in the midst of right now, you don't play a game in 10 days, and the guys, of course, are studying and taking tests. What is this week like for your squad?
Well, especially coming off what we just did, high concentration basketball, and now it's going to go into high concentration academics. We had a lighter practice yesterday, a shorter, I should say. It wasn't necessarily lighter. Off today because everybody has finals going on. There's just no space to put them in, get them all together, and everybody, if you're not taking a final, you're preparing to take one. The next couple days will be interesting. We'll do some small group stuff where we can get guys together. Gym's open today all day. You can see some guys are working out behind us. So wherever they can fit it in, I told them, I know as a college player and a student athlete, sometimes the best thing to do is to go clear your head by getting in the gym, or even if it's just to break a sweat for 30 minutes, like sometimes that really helps to kind of clear your mind as you're moving forward. So, we're just trying to make those resources available to them and support our guys because it's so important that they do well in school. And we'll kind of get back on it. We'll have a more normal practice on Saturday, and then Monday, Tuesday, we start preparing for Wilmington.
Focus on academics as Coach McGeehan's squad 7 to the Big South Honor Roll last semester. He talks about the UNCW game. That's the next time the men are on the court. That's on Wednesday the 14th at 7 p.m. The Campbell women's basketball team is now 3-3 on the year after a last-second 1-point loss to ETSU on Tuesday. Coming into the week, the Camels ranked 10th nationally in fewest turnovers and 13th in the nation in scoring defense, holding opponents to just over 50 points per game. After the ETSU game, our Bill Priestley caught up with head coach Ronny Fisher.
Well, we're really focusing on academics right now.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
And we won't do a whole lot the next couple days. We'll get them in the gym and do some individual workouts and try to keep their cardio up a little bit. But then we'll reconvene over the weekend, and we'll take 3 good practices and really try to we'll watch this video, which will be very difficult to watch, and we'll learn from this video, and then we'll go work on the things that we need to get better from this game. And I was really pleased, though. I tell you, you had kids coming off the bench. Caroline came in and made some big shots for us, and Haley came in and played well, and even Brianna Foster hit some big threes for us. We did some good things, and it's a shame in athletics. If you win by 1 point, you're ecstatic and everything's awesome, and if you lose by 1 point, you're so down and everything's the worst. And it's a shame because there are some positive things here, and we have to learn from them, and we will.
I know when you inherited this team, you kind of thought that they were a bit of a nebulous item. You didn't know them very well, of course. You had to figure them out. Like you said, you had to figure out who was going to play, who had playing time, who was going to be leaders, who was going to involve in that. As you've gotten a chance to know this team, have you kind of formulated an identity yet?
Well, I think our identity, first of all, is our defensive effort. I mean, East Tennessee State is a really, really good team, and to hold them to 50 in the mid-50s, it's hard. Now, the fourth quarter got away from us. They scored 25 points in the fourth quarter, and partly was because of our turnovers. But I think we've established ourselves as a pretty good defensive team, and we just got to get better executing, and we will. And they're also very athletic, and they pressed us, and we turned it over some, and that comes from experience. Mm-hmm. And we haven't played anybody that really did it to us like that. So, Crib made some nice plays, too, in transition. She came in there. She made some nice plays. And we're going to be all right. We just got to learn from it and keep getting better.
The women's basketball team plays here at home on Tuesday. It's a special 11:45 a.m. Elementary School Education Day game. If you can't make it, tune in for free in HD live on the Big South Network's free links at gocamels.com. That'll do it for this edition of This Week in Campbell Basketball. If we don't see you here at Gore Arena, we'll talk to you next week on This Week in Campbell Basketball.